everyone.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Oh,
Keep going.
that's all I had.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Upstairs Neighbors, your neighbors who do in fact live upstairs.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here with us on today.
On today's episode, we are covering a situation and topic that we will cover
Probably multiple times. Yeah.
because we're just girls. So
And honestly, guys, like this episode is gonna give category as realness. Like, can we all just be real for like 2 seconds?
No,
Shit.
category is raw shit. Like, if you've ever been through a breakup, if you've ever been through something worse, which is a situationship breakup, like, go ahead and call
put your
into
headphones
work.
in.
Yeah,
like I'm
me.
like, okay, well, I don't know. Like,
You're like, put in your headphones. I'm like, me, I'm like, call out of work and
no,
go,
seriously.
and
take care of yourself.
take care of yourself because same.
It's been really real. And you know what? Today we thought we would just open Pandora's box and just be honest with the listeners.
She's already fucking open.
We are coming to you post
48 hours.
Yeah. Fresh, bro.
Fresh. So if I start crying, just know it's because shit's raw in the chat right now.
Real. Yeah.
And that's because we're two real ass Barbies who cry.
Yeah, I mean Barbie's. Yeah. And I don't even know how to like start this topic. I will also say this off rip, like, we need to stop calling situationship. I just don't like that the term situationship exists because it almost like allows this kind of relationship like validity of like giving it a label, because what it's really giving is it's dating, babe. Like, this is dating in your. This is an episode on dating in your 20s type shit. Because it's mama situationship. Where like where's the shit part?
Where's the well, there's a situation.
Well, there's a situation. Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, also, I feel like people, okay, this is also how I feel when the term like situation comes up. Like, I feel like people kind of like give it then whatever story's going to come out of their mouth, like less validity.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, oh, well, you already knew like that shit wasn't going to be what you thought it was.
Yeah.
Therefore, like, you're kind of dumb. And at least that's how I've always like, you know, like that's how I've always internalized those feelings.
That's not true, babe.
It's not true at all. And also I would say, like, if anything, it's a lot harder because you're working from a place of like, how real was that?
Yeah.
Is it real? Like, there's so many more like questions that you have.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm like, I'll just share a story time.
No, it is. It's go for it. I'm like, let's just get into it, guys.
Let's just get into it.
Damn.
But long story short, I was long story.
Yeah.
But short. But shortened for the pod because this would be like a 4-day like tell all.
Yeah, like breaking our silence.
Yeah,
type
like
shit,
a 4-day docuseries.
Yeah,
like
literally
Netflix,
though. Literally.
Come over. But pretty much, I started dating someone in May of last year. So, shit, almost ran it for
almost a year.
For a full year, which is okay.
Which is real, yeah.
It happened. It happened.
So therefore, it is real.
Yeah. But yeah, we met on this app that I was like, you know, they reached out to me via Instagram. I was just like, hey, like, if you want a premium membership, here you go. Got a premium membership, matched with this person. They were the first person I like talked to on this app and the last person, because after that, my membership literally got
deactivated
because they were like, you're a robot. And I was like, thank you for the compliment, but
real.
I'm not. So then, yeah, we just started dating. It was like really fun. And I kind of like hit a moment where in the middle of us dating, like we had probably been dating for like a month at that point, just like going on dates and stuff. And then they were just like, hey, like, just wanted to let you know, like, this is where I'm at. I'm sorting through some stuff in my personal life and my personal dating journey. That like I just like literally couldn't help or offer them in. Which, you know, have like respect and space for, but we were having like so much fun. So I was just like, oh yeah, like for sure.
Totally. Yeah.
I like all good with me, and we were only like a month in, so I
Mhm.
was like,
Mhm.
for real, like that's all good. So then we were just like kept hanging out, and then like I was like taking them to work events, and
Yeah. That was the first hard
that
launch.
was like
Was when I literally received a picture in my inbox of y'all posted up
yeah.
at an event. I was like, "Oh, it's serious." Yeah.
Yeah, it's serious.
Realness,
Like I was
realness.
just like, oh, like I took you to the work event. You said yes to come
Mhm.
to the work event.
And it's stamped in history. Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's a
There's
Getty
proof.
image. There's a Getty image somewhere. But anyways, then after that, I kind of was just like, oh shit, like this is feeling a little for real.
Mhm.
After a couple months, like things do. And then maybe like a couple weeks later, I went to a show that they were playing in, and I had the squad
Yeah.
meet
We
him.
did. Yeah.
And
Meet and
everyone
greet
was like,
style.
yeah, and everyone was like, oh, he's cool, like he's really
Yeah.
sweet,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
whatever, like,
Yeah.
cause he
For sure.
is, he's
For
cool and
sure.
sweet.
Mhm.
And then I kind of just was spiraled after that, because I was just like, what's happening? It's been like almost 3-4 months now, and
Mhm.
like, what's
What's
good?
up? Yeah.
Um, and as one does, they hit me with the like, I'm figuring my shit out. I'm trying to like see other people do other things, like whatever. And I internalized that as just like, okay, you don't fuck with me, therefore I don't fuck with you.
Mhm.
But I don't typically do this. When I start talking to people, I'm like, you are
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
excommunicated from the island,
Yeah.
unless I'm like bringing you back in hard launch style. Like,
Yeah. And that's where we differ.
yeah,
Type shit.
because I like once we're done talking, I there's like not a world in which I can live in which you're just casually in my life.
Yeah.
And
Which is real. Which is
yeah, and
real.
I think you also reach a threshold too when you've been talking to someone for that long, where it's either like you can kind of like scale back to friends, but like we were way past
I unfortunately am a non-believer in that theory.
that you can scale back to friends.
I just like I've simply never seen it done successfully, and I even said that to you like the first
That
time because this
that's
bitch was
true.
like, "Yeah, we're just gonna be friends," and I was like, "Okay, if you say so," but like I've never seen anyone do that successfully because there does come a point where it's just like, dude, like. Now this is a matter of the heart. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just be like, all right, cool, like fuck it, like we're balling. And then you're what? Like if you post up with somebody else, somebody be like, yeah, well, the lotion's under the table in the left drawer anyway. So it's like it's just like there's a certain point where I'm like, I think that like there's very rare cases where people can continue to just like be quote unquote like friends in the way of like if you want to talk like fully platonic, like nothing that they do differs from like your homie down the street, like your reaction stays like the same. Like I just have not seen it. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it, and therefore to me it does not exist. And every time a homie is like, "Yeah, we're just gonna like run it friends," I'm like, "Okay, like you might be the first." Like every time I'll be like, "Go forth and let me know if you make it."
Yeah.
Nobody's ever made it.
No one's ever made it. And granted, like, because truly, like, when we like fizzle it all down, I think also this is the first person I dated who was really, truly like someone who I considered like also a bestie.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I feel like everyone that I've dated, I've never really dated someone and then they were also like doubling as like bestie, which
Mm-hmm.
I know you should really date like a best friend,
Yeah, for sure.
obviously, but it was just like really different because I feel like we just connected in that way, which made shit be like, oh my god, well, and also we were a little bit of a slow burn at first when it
Yeah.
came to the romance, so
Mhm.
like I was just like, oh, that would be so easy, whatever. We took a little break, then we ran it as friends, which was
Alleged.
alleged, but we did really run it the first couple, like the first like good few times we were hanging out, truly in my heart of hearts, I genuinely, despite what all were saying around me, I was like, we are friends. Like,
Yeah.
I really was just like, this is cool, we're moving forward as friends, whatever, it's all good in God's hood. Like, I had like a watch party and invited
Right, right.
him over, and like everyone was like hella like,
Keyed up.
yeah, like hella like looking looking to the side, and I was like, no, y'all, like we're just friends, and like,
Right.
whatever. It was like, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm so happy we're gonna run it as friends. Then I went to a rave. This is where the switch up happened for me.
Because what were you even doing there?
What was it? First off, what was that? Well,
Being an op.
no, because my friend, my one of my best friends loves going to raves. We also
Right.
like, this is a rave adjacent household.
Yeah.
Cause like one thing about our friends in Los Angeles, like they're finna tap into the rave scene and not
No,
like
for sure.
EDM, like Kygo and
Mm-hmm.
Diplo, but
Mm-hmm.
that like
Like that underground, like indie sleaze rave
that
scene, for
underground
sure.
indie sleaze, like this rave is happening in a tunnel type shit.
Yeah.
And like whatever.
We just hold it down at home, you know?
Exactly.
Just
And
got to make sure you're on call.
yeah,
Somebody got to be
exactly.
on call. Like, I don't know.
But my friend had actually gotten these tickets like months and months ago in advance. They also had lived far away, so I told them like they can stay and I would go with them.
Mm-hmm.
So like I had this planned in advance
Yeah.
before this person came in who's like very tapped into this scene.
Yeah.
So I went to this rave with them and he was there too. And like that night, my head was literally on a swivel. Like I was like watching, waiting. Like
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my god, if another person like pulls up, if I literally had this, kept having this thought. Granted, I was also on Mario's Magic Mushrooms.
Right.
So I was like, on a microdose.
Like post it up.
Yeah, like post it
hella
up,
looking
like
around,
in
like
my thoughts, like post it up in my thoughts, like Princess Peach's castle in my
yeah,
brain,
no,
like
literally.
thinking about things. And I kept thinking, if I see him make out with someone at this rave, I'm going to blow a fucking gasket and start malfunctioning.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, okay, hold on, y'all, hold on.
Mhm.
Everyone cut the cameras.
Mhm.
So I like came home from that rave and then we just kept hanging out, whatever, as friends in quotes. But then I was kind of like, well, not too
There it
much.
is again.
Not too
Yeah,
much.
there it
There it goes
goes.
again.
Yeah.
And then I don't know when exactly, but just a big flip switch happened where
Mhm.
now all of a sudden I'm talking to my friends like, well, wait.
Yeah.
Like talking to
Naturally.
them like, wait, what do I do? What do I do? Um, then we spent Christmas together. It was like really fun and sweet, but I was just like,
Not too
ooh, not
much.
too much. And then it was my birthday, and that's when shit
Was too much.
was too much. Because I said, let's run it back on my B-Day.
Yeah.
And Fireball.
You will
Be
be getting a cease and desist.
Yeah, like,
literally.
Fireball, you will be getting contacted from my people. Because
No, literally.
I was off the Fireball talking shit in my bed. Like, guys, let's run it. Why is everyone
seriously.
scared? I'm like, fear is so out. Anyways.
Classic.
Yeah, so I ran it girlfriend style for a month, and now we're sitting here.
Oh my God, it's been a month. It's literally been like a month to tomorrow's date.
Yeah. And I've literally ran it, like, he literally doubled down, like, brought it on.
As
like,
they will.
Yeah, just like, it became even more like just meeting his friends, hanging out. Like, I was just like not even being home for days on end. And I was like, oh, this is the big one that the people talk about that they've been like forementioning since like the beginning of time. And anyways, we just had to have a really hard conversation about like where this is going, what we're doing. And it just really came down to the fact that we were just delaying the inevitable. Like he still had a journey in his dating experience that he had to like stay true to. And I had to be true to myself, which was honoring the fact that like this situation isn't gonna give the way I needed to give. And I think that's what makes breakups like this even harder is because no one is bad. Like no one's the bad guy in this. Like if he cheated on me, if he literally done anything, I could literally be like, fuck you, bitch, burn in hell type shit. And then just like floor it, like,
yeah, for real.
and be so angry that way. But it just really sucks because on top of like now not having this like romantic person of interest in my life,
Mhm.
it's like doubled down by the fact that this person was also like one of my besties.
Yeah.
Um so now so now I'm sitting in Davy Jones' locker. I'm at the bottom of the ocean.
Mhm.
Um and that's fucked up. But that's like that I feel like is such a typical, like stereotypical, like
Yeah.
situationship situation,
Situation.
dating situation that happens all the time, and I feel like it's so much more frequent too.
Mhm.
And it's so frustrating because I'm
Yeah,
like,
it
y'all
is.
stop.
Yeah, it
Y'all have
is.
to stop doing that shit. Like, I'm like, people who don't know what they want are so out. Like,
They are out as fuck.
I'm just so not interested in that shit. Like, that's so fucking ghetto.
Mhm.
Like, seriously,
No,
I'm
it
just
is, like, genuinely.
like have your cake and eat it too is crazy.
And it's crazy, and see, this is like, and this is where I'm like, this is a call to action for all of just like the Barbies and everyone else, I guess, unless you're a cishet man, I'm not talking to you. But like, I do think that like the work. No, actually, I don't even mean that. What I was gonna say is the work begins at home, but like that is to say you're trying to upkeep a house when like everything around you like is literally on fire. But I do think there's a level of like in my 2024, and perhaps, and we've kind of like briefly talked about this, and like I feel like this has been like the tea with all the homies, but it's just like there's a level of like I'm done pretending that I'm fucking nonchalant. Like the nonchalant, like, oh, like, yeah, fuck him, like, oh my gosh, like you should like whatever, like this like idea that we need to keep ourselves like in like a certain check, I guess, or just like the fact that we should be like, oh, don't ever get like too attached or like don't be too comfortable. Bro, that shit is so out 2024 because the real tea when I literally look into the mirror Mulan style is I'm like, I love people. I love people so intensely. You're like that too. Like all my homies are like that. Y'all know who you are type shit. And it's just like we get into these situations where we're supposed to be like, oh, well, oh my God, like we weren't even like whatever. Da, da, da. Mama, mother, if y'all had known what you, but then check this, one finger pointing, three pointing back, and I have done for these N words, okay?
Slur.
You should. It's just like okay. All I'm saying is,
Hella vowels.
hell, like I like to eat equals and paninis. Like literally, I'm like being nonchalant is fucking out, and I'm sick of like the expectation that I'm supposed to be like nonchalant. Like men, oh, and let me not say men because it's not gender exclusive, but like in my experience, men or whoever the fuck that is for you, like this idea of like bringing people along and like figuring your shit out
Yeah.
is genuinely so fucking insane.
It's so diabolical because I feel like I have just like had this experience, like, I don't know. And I like this time it really, really, really was like the biggest, just like not slap in the face, but it was just like the biggest eye opener
Mhm.
to like just trying to make a shoe fit, like
Yeah.
Cinderella stepsister style.
No, because it also gives like, and whoever said this, I don't remember who literally gave this adage, but I just after my last situation, it wasn't even situationship, but after my last like dating experience, like I always think about the idea that like we think, how do I want to say this? Shit is all like fun and games until you like actually really fuck with that person. And like when you actually like somebody, you will know because your shit will literally give like Oppenheimer, like Chernobyl. Like it's just that small difference, you know what I mean? Because we've all been in
No,
the dating game, like we've all like talked to people, da 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 da. But the reason this shit is about to tear your shit from the flow up to the stow up is because you actually gave a fuck about this person.
no,
You know what I mean?
I'm not even kidding. The crying that was cried
And
when,
that will be cried.
and that will be cried continue like in continuation because I literally like had this convo, went to dinner, was like hella king at dinner, hella laughing, sat my ass right there on the fucking couch, no lights on in this bitch, start sweeping
Have to.
out of
Have
fucking
to.
nowhere. Literally, my cousin was staying with me, and I was letting her and her boyfriend sleep in my room, and I was literally like, "Hey, y'all, like, I'm sleeping in my room tonight because I need to let it out in private."
No, like, yeah, and if you hear anything, like, go ahead and flip over, like, literally
No, like
type
seriously,
shit.
here's some earplugs because I mean, and that's what's just like so fucked up. I think for me, because as much as I like give credit to it could have been so much worse. It could have
Sure.
been so much worse in the sense that like if this person didn't have like a lot more morality than most, like
Mhm.
it there's some villains out there.
No,
There's
seriously.
some villains who
And they don't give a shit
they don't
if
give
you live or die.
if you live
Like,
or die, and worse, they run their shit like malip.
no,
Um,
literally Maleficent. Like, literally Maleficent. Literally, though.
they run their shit manipulation style,
Oh,
where they
yeah.
just keep this shit going for as long as they want until they're done, and then you're really sat sick to your stomach.
No, like, actually ill, bro.
Like,
Like, folded over ill as fuck, bro.
and I'm like laughing my ass off because I'm literally sick to my stomach. Right?
No,
like
because
I'm
it's literally giving B sick. And you know what? Okay, I was literally on the phone with another Barbie in command this morning. And you know what I will also stand on is like nowhere should we I'm also like anti-shame Barbie. Like I don't like shit like this turning into like shame or whatever cuz like no, like just even the idea of like, oh, well, like how upset can I be like over something that's not like maybe on paper like whatever? Be upset because I'm also like I would be more sick about my home, and it's easy to see when you're outside the club, but then when you're in it, it's like actually scary. But like, I would be more sick if my friends were like shook up, like nauseous over like a guy that like they didn't even really give that much of a fuck about. Cause like, I feel like I'd be hearing like, and I don't want to sound stupid, but like he really feels like the one or like he really da da da. And I'm like, yeah, like you should be sick because the only like Kens you should be letting in. When will I let go of the Barbie analogies? I don't even hear it till I say it. But just like the only Kens that you let in, I'm like should be ones that literally have you sick
to your
sick.
stomach.
Like I need like every crush should literally feel like he was made for me and this is the only one until you see the next one and you finna be like that is the only one. But like as it should be, like it's upgrade theory. Like it's like why wouldn't you be sick over every single guy? Like I'm just so guys, emotions are in as fuck. Like being emotionless is so out. It's so out cuz who does that like really help? Like you should feel your shit. You should be sick. I would hope you would be sick because you
Yeah.
should only be really like giving your time to people who you're fucking sick about
Yeah.
with love.
And I think that's that shit that's also it's just it's so layered because it's dating's already scary. Period.
Dating's already scary.
Dating's already scary. Like there's this person who matches with me every single time I get on any app.
And those ones, I'm like, thank you. Like, cause they'd be
Thank
like, and you
you.
still got it. I'm like, thank you.
No, literally.
I'm like,
Literally.
you too, for sure.
They're
Like, for
like,
sure.
Mom, it's so bad.
No,
And
literally.
I was just like, this is just a thought because I went on 2 dates last year, and the second date being this person who
Mm-hmm.
I literally like ended up seeing for almost a whole year.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like at a commission of the dating department,
Totally.
and now I'm like, dude, if I, like to get back into the scene, I need to like like break the ice. And I'm like, maybe like even though I'm not sick to my stomach over this person, I was just like, maybe I'll just like go on a like a tester date.
Yeah, I mean, you'll never know if you'll be sick. Like, even when this person started, like, you weren't necessarily hella sick, but you were like, this person's hella cool, like, da 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 da. And then
Yeah.
slowly, like, the illness progressed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
that was also the T,
Well,
too.
and also I'm the CEO of the first time we key. If I'm keying with you like one of the fucking gills,
Yeah.
like one of
It's
the
up.
girls on my ship, I'm
Mhm.
literally like, oh,
Yeah, because you
like
should.
that's my dog. That's my fucking dog.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, but anyways, I was thinking maybe going on like a starter date with this person who what we were actually supposed to go on a date during Christmas time,
Mm-hmm.
but it just didn't end up working out. Because I was like
Oh, I want to see
dipping
this
my
person after.
oh yeah, well no
Oh,
because not too much and they're started it for a reason.
Oh, word. Word.
But I was also looking at like my Hinge roses, like the people who are in the
Yeah.
Rose Penitentiary.
No penitentiary, mama.
And I was like, God,
Like literally free them.
no, I was like, please,
Free them.
but
Free them.
free
They said,
them.
do you want it though? Because if you want it, you'll grovel.
They
Or
said
grovel.
they said if you want it, you'll grovel because that's embarrassing. That's fucking embarrassing.
It's
man.
embarrassing, but I honestly, like back when I had Hinge, and honestly, that itch, you know what? And this is a whole other thing, but I'm just like, I deleted Hinge at the beginning of the year. I've re-downloaded it twice. For one night, I'll check. My roses will be the same, and I'll re-delete it because I'm like, why do I think somebody new just moved to Los Angeles? Like, I don't know. But the Rose Gate, like the Rose system, like the Rose, like industriale complex.
Because why are you making me pay however much roses fucking cost on that godforsaken fucking Forsaken, because I've been forsaken.
Because why am I giving out a rose, bro?
Because first off, why is
to a man?
To a man? I'm just like, my lady.
No, like literally, like
tipping,
it's fucking embarrassing.
Fucking embarrassing, bro. I'm tipping my hat to this nigga. Like,
no, like literally, hello, my baby. Like, are you serious?
Like fucking tap dancing for this
like
nigga?
A dowry? Like, why am I giving a guy on Hinge a dowry, bro? A rose is so fucking embarrassing. Because if I don't get it back, now I have to dox your shit. Like, now I literally have to IP address. And it'd be literally, for me and my roses, because Hinge, I'm like, and at the end of the day, Hinge sees me. Like, they're listening. They be putting the Wilhelmina roster on there. And I'm like, guys.
No, like literally, my roster's like da na 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 na.
No.
Like
it's like okay.
I was bad to the bone. Like these niggas,
like they really want me to literally be like,
they put
hey,
the bad like,
ones,
bad to the bone.
And I'd be hella Xing them like, I'll see you on the regular. Like,
no.
Oh my god,
like no, like trying to trick the algorithm. Like I don't even like niggas.
No, I know. I'm like, ew, ugly, hella looking for him. Like, okay, like looking for him on main, like. But you could put him in regular. Like I might send him a heart type shit, bro. No, Hinge, you're going to. Honestly, it's masterful. It's masterful because every time I'm like,
it's cruel and unusual punishment, bro.
It is.
Because now, like, I'm just trying to like see even what's out there.
And I have to literally pull up with the edible arrangement. I'm like, okay.
The edible arrangement, and I'm also just like. Like imagine this. This is the scenario I play in my head. Imagine you guys make it, right? You make it down the line, and you're talking to your homies, and they're like, "Oh my god, tell us how you met." Yeah, she sent me a rose. I will fucking murder you.
That's literally what Simone Biles' husband said.
That's what I mean.
That nigga. I didn't know her. She just sent me a rose. I would have been like. Like, babe, we told everyone we met at fucking Whole Foods. Like, why are you saying that?
I'm literally gonna be like, if you put in that very crucial detail that I sent you a fucking
no, I'm gaslighting.
Bouquet,
I'm
gaslighting. Fucking
gaslighting.
bouquet, bitch. You're done.
You don't care about me or my image.
You need to lie to people. You need to lie to people and tell them that you sent me a rose and you were sick to your stomach over me.
No, like. Duh, bro.
No,
Hinge, go to hell. But like dating in general, though, is like. I mean, I've only been on one Hinge date. Okay, and also, brain popping with hella shit. I have to say that I will talk shit now that I'm out of the woods, but like when I'm in the woods, I fear I'm like make it fit Barbie. Like that is like my addiction that I'm working on right now is the like need to like when a man is literally like, I don't know. I'm like, what?
No.
I'm like, did I show you this? And then I do a backflip. Like I'm like, did I show you this? And then I literally make a ball come out from his ear. I'm like, okay, like
no,
what
like
are we talking
25
about?
cents out of his earlobe.
No, literally,
because I've been doing
it's
magic tricks, dude. No, it's so bad. The reason I had to run it back a second time was because I was literally looking this fool in the eyes every time we were kicking it, being like, "No, you want me."
And that's the thing, though. It's like that is never the problem.
But see, here's my
Which is
problem.
what makes it worse.
And that's the problem. It's not like, yeah, of course they want me. how bad
How
I'm
bad?
like, you want me bad enough?
No, because like homies really be like in the field, like needing about a year or 6 months more of like self fucking like get a journal or like go to a therapist. Like, because the T too is like, there's no T. And like with your situation, like we, like it's not like it's an on like, it's not necessarily on fuck you shit. Like you were saying, it's kind of a better situation, but it's still like, y'all are dealing with this shit, which is fine. And like everyone can grow and everyone can discuss. Like we're all just 20s. Like we're all just girls in our 20s at the end of the day. But like, mm, not too much though.
Not too much
Like in the
on
sense of like, not too much in the sense of like playing house and like doing all this shit and like dragging it on. Like it's like, yes, everyone can have like their own kind of like things that they're working towards or like their things that they're working through or like et cetera, et cetera. But then there also becomes a point where it's like, dude, you're so not for real. And like, how is that even supposed to make me feel? Because honestly, too, it's like, I think we also are people who are like, I will claim this like really introspective and like really emotionally regulated in a lot of senses of like, the guys that we have dealt with that have like ran their shit like fucking Toy Story 2, like I guess we're just here for fun and games, like are really lucky that they're dealing with people who are like pretty like on top of their shit, like in terms of like our emotions and shit. Like if I really wanted to be mad at like the last like 5 people I dated, I could be fucking furious, but like we're over here like hella holding space, like hella like, okay, if you want to like work your shit out, that's fine. It's not like you literally took me to meet your parents in Milan, like cool. You know what I mean? Like
in
not too
Milan.
much, bro. Because at some point it's
No.
too much.
No. And I think like that's kind of the problem is you're trying to take like traditional dating expectations
Mm-hmm.
and putting them into non-traditional roles,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, that shit doesn't fit though, because I think the thing is like if it's only dating for one person, it's not working.
Yeah,
I mean, sorry, if this dating scenario is only
for
working
one
for one
person.
person,
Yeah.
it's not, the situation's not working,
Period.
period. And I just feel like when you're making hella compromises and you're
Mm-hmm.
just like, oh, okay, wait, hold on. Okay,
Yeah.
well, and you know what? Actually, I have, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
Like, technically, I have the capacity to hold a lot of space. I have the capacity, I could have literally been like, you know what? And while you're figuring this out, I'm just
Mm-hmm.
gonna like play over here in the sand. And then you
Mm-hmm.
could just like come back. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
what? And also, it's just like such a dangerous game to play when you're downplaying your own emotions,
Mm-hmm.
because then like when the stray cat doesn't come home, because
You're sick.
you're I had a dream. I
Yeah.
had a dream about this. I literally had a dream about this person. Like, I had a dream that we had been like dating, same shit that we had been on, and then just like one day right in front of me he like proposed to someone, and then like dream changes and we're in Vegas and he's like walking up to me with his new person, and they're about to like go into the chapel to get married, and he literally just was like, hey, like awkward as fuck, and I'm just like, oh, like y'all about to
Yeah.
go get married in that chapel.
Subconscious goes crazy.
Yeah, and I literally then like walked down the street, and my friend came up to me and was like, yo, like what's happening, and I like broke down, like
Mm-hmm.
just destroyed on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like that is really, yeah, like the subconscious, like just really painting me a picture of like
Mm-hmm.
that's what it looks like to just downplay your emotions in these scenarios,
Yeah.
because that's such an honest situation that could happen.
Mm-hmm.
And the fucked up part is morally they're going to hell. Technically though, they're not.
It's green light. Yeah.
Yeah, it's green
Yeah.
light. And I feel like the biggest thing that I've just been working on with my personal self and like self growth and like
Mm-hmm.
the standards that I set for myself is everything out of like self respect. Like,
Mm-hmm.
at what point are you genuinely disrespecting yourself by letting a situation that doesn't meet your standards continue?
Yeah.
I
Yeah. No,
fear.
quite
I
literally. Because I
fear.
think too, like,
I
that is the T
embrace.
I embrace. There's
Sorry.
nothing to fear.
Thank you.
Like, we embrace, we embrace. But, like, I do think that is kind of like the lesson to be learned and like the thing that changes as you keep dating. Like, I mean, I'll speak for myself because I'm not going to speak for you, but like, I do think something that's really been on my noggin is just like the shortening of time between like just kind of like the period where you're like you were saying compromising and like kind of just like trying to make it fit by like, oh, it's not like that big of a deal, like whatever, da da da, is like my that is my sin. Like when they write down like my sins on the commandments, I'm like, my sin is that I literally be like, well, I really like this person, so like, okay, like yeah, totally, like whatever you need, like I'm able to like handle
Oh yeah,
that. You know what I
same,
mean? Like
same.
I feel like I can like take that on for them, even though my shit is literally like, bitch, my hair is falling out. But like, I do think like a lot of kind of just like the difference or like the growth is clocking that shit and like being able to be like, okay, that is not like that just does not reach my standards and that is like fucking okay. Like I think that's where the scarcity mindset for me too like pops up, even though it's not like as loud as other shit, is like I will literally meet somebody who's like 80% of my like standards for dating, quote unquote, or like for a partner or whatever, and then literally the 20% is them like, bitch, I'm not gonna commit to you, or like, oh, like maybe they're not fucking funny or something. And it's like, am I really gonna take the 80? Because before I'd be like, hell yeah, that's more than 50. But now I'm like, dude, like that 20 is really important, especially when it's literally commitment.
Well, and like when it comes to,
Like
yeah, well, and I mean, like, that's the thing with like the 80-20 that's like so
the 80
funny.
20, bro.
The 80-20 of it is
Mm-hmm.
like the 20 that we're talking about needs to be like, okay, maybe you don't dress like I
Yeah.
want my dog to dress like. Maybe you aren't like the look or the
Yeah.
vibe, or like maybe we have like, like you fuck with Legos, I fuck with like fucking Betty Crocker. I don't know
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
what the differences are, but like the 20 that matters is that big, big, big shit. And I feel like that's what I've had to learn. But because before in my day, I'd be like, one thing and you're out.
Yeah.
Like
Woo!
I used to
I'd be
be,
like 5, 6, 7, like
yeah,
maybe 8, maybe 8 if
yeah.
you really like Trojan horse it. Like I
No,
don't know,
like I used to be like, one thing, you're out of here.
which is
Like
real.
I'm
Yeah.
like, you, what pants are those? Get the fuck out my face.
Mm.
Now I feel like I also am a person, like I feel like there's people who are like love at first sight or learn to love, and I'm a
Mm-hmm.
learn to love kind of girl, because I
Mm.
feel like, hey, I'm not always gonna come
Mm-hmm.
100. You're not always gonna come 100.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
Totally.
I can learn to love you. But the big shit, the big 20, like I'm just like, you can't put one of your like big like pillar principles that are like holding up your fucking house,
Yeah.
that are holding up the White House. You can't put that shit on some like 20%. Like you can't throw that into the 20.
That's realness.
And I feel like that shit is what's really hard too. And I feel like what is so hard, and I feel like now exiting the situation and like entering a new situation, which
Mm-hmm.
is
Whatever it's gonna be.
starting from ground.
Yeah.
And they don't talk about the jail
Yeah.
that is literally having to buy a new house on fucking credit, bitch.
Yeah.
When you have paid off the old one,
Yeah.
like you put time, energy, effort into a relationship, and then they're just like, yeah, that shit's getting foreclosed.
Yeah.
They like that is the most diabolical, evil shit to ever experience. But at the same time, you can't win if you don't play. So
Yeah. And I mean it does give, and again, guys, like I have to acknowledge that I am out of the woods. Like if we would have filmed this podcast a year ago today, literally, I was so sick. Like Dom literally had to come to my house like 911 style. Like I literally was like bawling my eyes out like, I hate men, like da da da, like just like fucked up. And now I'm kind of like, I'm out the woods. So I'm seeing the horizon a little bit more, I'm sure, but like damn. I
no,
kind of live because I'm like, bitch, possibilities are endless.
possibilities are endless. And also, I think now really coming into it, like having some of the like this one was like the one that set it off, like
Yeah.
Lil Boozy style. Like
Yeah, no, literally.
it set off the chain of command. Like now I feel like going into dating, I know like it's not
Yeah.
even giving like, haha, you're cool, this is fun, but like shut it down because I fear it's not gonna give in the way I need it to give now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like now I'll know. Like now I'll know. And I'm like, trust. because she's listening,
Mhm.
the universe is listening.
Mhm.
I'm like, girl, trust.
Yeah.
Just trust.
Just trust. You have to just trust.
I'm like, just trust that I fucking learned my lesson, mama,
Mm.
loud and motherfucking clear. Like, I know there will be some shit that I get put to the test to later on
Sure.
to really like triple check.
Yeah.
But I'm like, trust,
Always
mama.
do.
Ran it once, ran it twice.
And that's all I need to know.
Ain't no motherfucking third because
No,
yeah,
in a serious way, bro. It's just, oh my God. Like, it's actually so sick and twisted.
it's sick and
It's sick and
twisted.
it's
It's sick and
twisted.
twisted, and like that's why honestly I don't shit on anyone who's putting themselves out there.
Mm-mm. Oh my God. You guys are literally the strongest soldiers. Like, I'm looking at y'all like, bitch, I'm trying to learn
Like
something.
listen and learn seriously because
Mm-hmm.
I can't even begin to explain just how I'm at the place right now. This is the ground zero that I'm at right now. I'm at the ground zero right now where like literally I was watching a movie that's supposed to be like sweet and wholesome and they these two people kiss and I literally turned off the TV.
Yeah.
Like that's how sick I am right now.
Yeah. I mean, you're literally this is fresh as
No,
hell.
like literally as fresh as it gets.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the kind of sick right now where also I could like the thought of someone asking me what my favorite thing to do on the weekends is or if I have any like that thought makes me want to create my own version of the atom bomb, fly myself to the middle of the Pacific Ocean and set
And
that
let it
bitch off.
run.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
set that bitch off. That's like the place that I'm at right now. But I know I've done it once. I've done it
Yeah.
at least double digits now. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I know that we'll be good this time, but it never gets less
It
sick.
never gets it'll be hella triggered. I'm like, it never gets it really doesn't. I mean, it gets easier, sure, but like you still gotta let it rock.
You still let it
You still gotta
I
let the
mean,
emotions
yeah,
rock,
I'm just
bro.
letting shit rock. Like
Which is so insane. I mean, it really is like I think at the end of the day to just all everyone deserves somebody who's like willing to be like brave enough to mirror like their attraction or like love or commitment or like time. Like I think and me and Keelan, I'm like shout out Keelan, but like we really over these last couple months have realized that like bro, just the idea that connection is not enough is real because it's never about like connection. Like I mean, in these situations I'm talking about, but like or for us, I should say, but the problem is never necessarily the connection, which is what makes it more fucked up. Is it's like you really get along with this person, you really like them, like they obviously fucking like you, like there's just like a whole thing happening. But mama, the admin is never done. Like I mean, at least for us, because if so, we would literally be keyed up. But I'm like, it's always the admin work. Like you literally hand them a piece of paper and they're like, "Are you fucking stupid?" I'm like, "What do you even mean?" Like we're literally already together. We're
no,
quite literally
seriously.
already together,
Seriously,
bro.
you're literally together and you're like, can you just sign right here on the dotted line that like
And it's
we're
giving
just gonna
panic button. I'm
we're
like,
just gonna like
so
commit for a few things and all of a sudden their shit
and
turns into
security's behind you. I'm like,
no,
oh my
literally,
God. Like,
literally,
sorry.
they signed that shit with pencil.
N- No, literally throwing that shit at you. I'm like, damn, like, oh my yeah. And guys, you know what? I don't even know. To be fair, I literally dated somebody a little while ago. And let me also say this. Guys, sorry that we're girls with the podcast, but it gives like if we talk about you on this podcast, you have simply become like an entity. Like it's not even about for me at least, like I'm like, it's not even personal. Like it's all love. Like if you hear about yourself from me on the podcast, just know that this is giving like we still kudo, but just like as a concept type shit. Like you're just turning into a concept right now as I'm speaking about you. Anyways, we can talk about that in person. Um, but I definitely dated somebody that like I fucked with so hard, like actually liked so much that now I'm spiritual again. Like literally, no, like I'm being so for real. Like I started that shit, like whatever, came out of it, literally like so humbled, like so fucking like on all fours, like so sick that now I'm literally like everything's in alignment.
No, everything's in alignment because literally I'm just running my shit on the truth that like, and if this wasn't meant to be, then whatever is.
Is gonna be meant to be, I guess. Like, no, because it genuinely
It's
gives
gonna
like
be the big one.
no, literally, my friends always are like my friend Faith. Hey Faith, I'm like shouting out the homies today, but Faith is always like always makes a joke that like me becoming healthy is like the worst thing that's ever happened because now literally when my friends are like, this is oh my god, like hella sick, like ripping their hair out, I literally be on the phone like, don't worry, bro, it's in alignment. Like just trust in source, like rejection is redirection. Like this nigga literally rewired my shit so bad. Like I literally was so humbled, like literally looked at myself in a cloak, like was fighting my demons bare knuckle fist, like Rocky, like fucking like hella out of it, like bro, I just gotta get this last punch in. That I'm literally like, okay, period, everything's in alignment. Like that shit literally took the cynicism out my body because the only way to get through that was to be like, there has to be something. There is something already written that I just don't know about. And I be trying to rewrite the script bad. Like these niggas be like,
Down.
back wench. Like literally back wench, you heathen. And I'm like, but you're so funny. Like you obviously are my boyfriend. Like that's crazy.
Oh my god, because we need to fucking talk. We need to fucking talk about, are they playing hard to get, or
Or are
are you
you playing
just
hard to get rid of? Delete. Delete. When I saw that TikTok, I literally was like looking up this person's like family address. Like I was like, I'm going to send your family house like a bag of shit on fire through USPS because no way you just said that online. No way you just said that.
Are you? Are
My
you?
my man said on a public platform that children are on, mind you. Children, okay? Children shouldn't be reading that. Are they playing hard to get or are you playing hard to get rid of? It had my name in the caption, I swear. Like, you can't see it, but he was talking to me.
Are are you? Are you? Are you playing hard to get rid of? Hard to get rid of? Hard to get rid
So
of?
you're telling me you thought about that, you opened the app, you typed it, you watched it back, and you still decided to post it? You're a terrorist.
Hard to get rid of. Imagine someone saying to you, well, you're hard to get rid of.
Imagine? Don't worry, I felt that. I'm like, guys, because unfortunately, and we should have started this by literally offering our fucking attachment styles because I'm like, I, for the longest time, thought I was avoidant attachment Barbie. And honestly, I think there was like a time where I was, these things ebb and flow and like it's not super black and white, but like there was a time when I was like avoidant attachment Barbie. Recently, as I've entered my 20s adulthood, I've realized through therapy and BuzzFeed Quizlets, like I am anxious. Like I thought I was avoidant. I'm anxious attachment. So when people are literally like honestly, okay, and to be fair, I don't dance with devils often. I could do more dating. I know this already. But when I do, I already set myself up because it's already people that I'm like, you've passed the background test. Like people that I'm already like, I already know that I fuck with you, so we might as well just run it. Then on top of that, I've never had somebody just be like, get away from me, but like, mama. I've had people be like inching out the house slowly, like walking backwards, and I'm like, well, what are you doing? But to be fair to me, they'll be like, love hanging out with you. You're great. You're awesome. You're cool. I'm like, well, why are you saying that like driving by my house? Like, why don't you come in and take your shoes off? So to be fair, like I'm definitely the Barbie that's like, wait, like what? Like, don't go, don't go. No mas.
No, Moz.
If you need to go, girl, go.
Go.
Girl, go. That's
Girl,
okay.
go. Because
Type shit.
I don't know if I can say is running disorganized, fearful, avoidant attachment. And that attachment style you actually earn by acquiring
A Purple
all of
Heart.
them.
Yeah.
You couldn't quite pick which one you wanted to be.
So
If you
you
wanted
know,
to
you're
be
flexible.
fearful, avoidant, anxious,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
scaredy cat fucked up
Scaredy cat
bitch.
attachment.
Like, yeah, whatever that one is.
No, literally though.
Because I literally was like laughing in my therapist's face when we were reading the test results, but here's the thing. With me, same. Like, I think nothing is more, once again, I bring it back to disrespectful of self.
Yeah.
Because when you frame anything ever as like good or bad decision based from the sense of like, if you want to learn how to love yourself, like in a serious way, just put anything through the filter of, is this disrespectful to myself?
Mm.
Am I disrespecting myself by doing this? See how quickly shit gets sorted out.
No, that's real.
And
And
it, yeah.
go for it. You
No, I
go.
was just gonna say, like, the idea of like having someone be there that doesn't want to be there.
It's great. And you know, I think like for me in my house on the back of that, and I think, you know, two different attachments, like two different like whatever, but still dogs, you know what I'm saying? Like still like we can dap up on that. I'm just like I do think that something that I've learned recently is for my girly pops, for my squirrely pops who like aren't daters, because I think that was something that like I'm still learning to overcome, and like whatever, like we're figuring it out type shit, but like that is something that kind of set me up in a weird space to like date. Is like growing up I never dated, like I never like had that experience, like I didn't do high school dating, honestly, thank God, but like didn't date in high school, like did had one boyfriend in college that like fucking changed my shit up, like so I've always had the idea that like when people come through, since they're like kind of rare and since dating is like not a practice for me, like I literally be like, you're it, like that's it, like whatever. And honestly, to my girls listening who are might be similar, like I do think, and Dom's been telling me this from the jump too, but I'm just like I do think that like dating is like it's worth it to like go out and like date, and like even just for the practice of it, and for the like, because I do think that a big part of, I don't know, for me, like why I hold on to people too, or like why a lot of it was like I was disrespecting myself because I'm like trying to like sell myself so hard, is because I have like I should say, but like I had like no perception of myself like romantically. Like
Mm.
I'm like somebody who's like, oh, I mean, like I'm an only child. I never like dated. Like I've had friends my whole life who've been like my longtime friends. Like everything is really solid in my house. Like just like with how it was fucking built. Like that's just the house that I built, you know? That like my perception of myself, I'm like, yeah, like I know I'm a good person, like I really stand on these morals, and like I'm nice to people and I try to be good, and like that's all I know. Bitch, then you try to date and you start getting like other signals of perception, and you're literally like, whoa, bro, like am I a good person, like am I like what's it, like it just, I think it just leaves your worth like in a way more like kind of like not fragile, but it just leaves your worth out to dry in a crazier way of
Yeah,
like,
and
fuck.
it puts a lot of you, like your personal work that you've done for yourself, to the test. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
and it also just highlights a lot of areas where you're like, ooh, I need to grow in that.
No, in a
Ooh.
seer, and it only happens when you literally like these niggas, because I'm like, the second it was giving like, oh, I'm unsure, I was like, should I be unsure? Like, I'm literally sitting over, and again, like I said, this is from somebody who like doesn't date, like don't have like a lot of data in that regard. So like, of course, like every inkling of data that comes in, I was like, well, this is all the data we have, so it's the whole pie graph type shit.
Mm-hmm.
So literally, when this man's like, I don't know, I was like, well, did you see this? Like hella like like hella like 6-year-old kid, like, well, watch this. Like hella to the cartwheel, like, wait, watch this like jump kick split. Like I'm like, okay, well, let me know like in the comments like what you think. But I feel like after that experience, and also just like, I don't know, like being more perceptive to romance, or maybe just like allowing that, even of just like the perception of like guys asking for your number at the club, allegedly, or like allegedly, oh, or just like being responsive. Because for a long time, I was like so shut off to that shit where I didn't even notice. Like, guys we're accepting compliments 2024, like little shit like that makes a difference. Of like, if somebody complimented me, I'd be like, no, haha, like no, my subconscious was like, yeah, because bitch, like you suck. I was like, right, no, exactly, that's what I thought. Like it's just giving like, guys, I don't know, that's just my spiel. Is I'm also like, I think dating in and of itself is really valuable, so that you kind of like understand that like half the time it has all the time, pretty much it has nothing to do with you. Like 80% of the time, it has nothing to do with you, with your worth. Like, honestly, even with your compatibility, because you'll be compatible and they'll still be like, get away from me. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, it just has a lot to do with like, you know, the chips falling into place of
Yeah,
like
exactly.
the right, it could be right person, wrong time.
Yeah, could
So
be.
many things, but like it just, there's so many different aspects that come into play, like yourself, how you feel about yourself,
Mm.
like where they're
Where you're
at.
at.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
you're at, where they're at. Like so many different timing. Timing's a huge thing
Yeah.
that like has to do with it. And hey, but I say this to all say everything in alignment, bro.
No.
Seriously.
I
Everything in
know,
alignment,
be like, and nothing's gonna miss you, which is true.
which is true.
I'm just waiting for that thing to not miss me, I
Yeah,
guess. Like, it's cool.
nothing's gonna miss me like and miss me bad. Me,
Yeah.
I'm like, and you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. Like,
No, girl.
which
And it's also
me, I'm
giving
like,
like,
I already know.
well, no, real, because it's also giving like, I don't even actually, I was about to say some shit I don't even want to say, but I will, my pivot is going to be rejection is redirection. Like, rejection isn't just rejection. Like,
It's
it's,
God's redirection.
it's redirect, like, it's giving, like, if somebody, like, isn't really willing to meet you, like, where you're at, bro, like, what I need everyone to do is number one, like, be honest about where you're at. Like, be honest about what you want. Like, and obviously the call's like coming from inside the house. We're all in this together, but it's just giving like, next time I'm like, I'm gonna be honest that, like, dude, I'm not nonchalant. Like, I really care about the people I care about. If I'm letting you like into my life and doing that, like, I care about that shit. Like, I love people really hard, and that's just like realness, bro. Like, me a year ago would have been like, no, like, dude, I'm so chill, like, whatever, like, we can just like hang out. No, we can't, because see how I literally am like bringing you gifts like the second time we hang out. Like, it's just
Yeah,
like
see,
what?
yeah, that's the thing. It's like if I fuck with you, like then it's up and it's I fear stuck.
Stuck. Like, you're literally finna like go to sleep and like open your eyes and I'm like stuck to your ceiling. Like, in a
Yeah.
serious way. So it's just like, what?
But if I'm just like effing with you on in a casual sense, like
You'll know.
I run casual all day long.
No,
so,
you'll know.
so you'll
Like,
know, mama. There's a difference. There's a difference in energy, but
yeah, no, seriously. And I'm like, damn, dude, like, just seeing everybody so third person right now and just like whatever. Cause the next time it's me, I'm like, everybody lock in, cause, everybody gets their time in the coop. You know what I'm
in
saying?
the
But
coop.
I'm just like, I already forgot what I was gonna say. Cool. ADHD pop off. Like, I don't really know.
Yeah.
Me thinking about 7 different scenarios in my head right now, like hella talking about this. I'm like, and that time he
No,
like, oh, okay.
yeah, like EMDR, like
No type shit. Oh, what I was gonna say is, yeah, I just feel like everybody, like, it's easy to see in your homies and stuff, but just like everybody deserves somebody who's like, and I'm not even like, he should be so lucky, Barbie, like, at all. But I am like, bro, the way me and my dogs be running it, I'm like, you really should like feel so lucky. And like, if somebody can't return that same like feeling, that same gusto, that same care, okay,
hmm
cool.
And
Like,
this is the final thing I will say. This is how I view it. How easy it is for you to show love to that person. Like it for me, it's like not it's that's just like second nature.
yeah,
Like first nature, honestly. Like
no real.
if I go to a store and I see something that my friends like, I'm literally like, that's for so and so, or like
Yeah,
that. Like I'm just
me.
like I just be like picking up shit or like whatever. Or if I think of something and like that makes me think of them, like it comes so naturally, so easily,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like no effort on my part. Like it really genuinely takes no time away from me. And on top of that, I enjoy doing it. Like it adds and brings so much value. Like it's one of the things I love to do for my people.
Yeah.
The way that ease comes for you should be the way that ease should come for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just not hard. So it
Yeah.
shouldn't be hard for them. And if it is hard,
And that's just not for you,
and it's
bro.
like check up a deuce, serious.
I mean, I'm excited. Like, I don't know. I am excited for everyone to like find kind of like the person that matches their energy, because I think it's going to be very powerful and very real. Also, if we want to talk about the real casualties that are the gifts and knickknacks and fucking Sunny Angels I have living motherless out in the city right now. Because one thing about me and my house is I will get you a gift. Like,
No,
I
like
just
the kids, it's giving somehow they got full custody at their daddy's
no,
house.
like at
Like,
they
fuck.
daddy's house. Because why do I literally have like sons? Like, literally, I have two, I think. Or no, I think I have
Dude,
one.
I have like 8.
I think he's
Like
an only child.
oh my gosh, I have like at and one that I know that nigga finna remove from their car because they gonna be sick every day looking at that
And
shit.
honestly, it's just like, bro, give that shit back,
Give
bro.
that shit back. You don't even fucking. I put you
Uh,
on. Ooh.
No,
Ooh.
exactly. Because I'm like,
Ooh.
when mine is literally an only child, like sitting in the windowsill by itself, I'm like, give it back.
Give it back because I'm looking at the toys, like literally the Willy Wonka toys that you got for my ass, and I'm literally like, bro, you don't
Collection goes crazy.
literally give me that shit back because you didn't even fuck with that. And also, bitches are literally gonna hop into your room, see that shit, and be
And be
like,
like, who
who
was here
fucking
before
cooked
me?
here? Who
Who was here
fucking
before
cooked
me?
here?
Because the way I would be so
So
sick.
sick! Sick!
I would be
Nigga,
so
I'd be
sick
so
if
sick!
I laid my head down in a man's room and turned over and there was a fucking flower Sunny Angel trying to hand me a dandelion. I would literally be so sick.
Like, literally, everyone finna look at your shit and be like, oh, you have
Where's your wife at?
bitches here.
Oh my god, that's so real. I didn't even fucking think about that. Honestly, if we all banded together, guys, everyone in the Los Angeles area, if we all banded together and started picking what our like Sunny Angel mark is gonna be, we could run that shit like graffiti style, bitch. Like we could literally be like, oh my god, a rose, like Stephanie was here. Like,
No,
oh, like Stephanie has tea, bitch. Let me call her up. Like if we all banded together, like let's start a Discord.
no, because the my blind boxes that I was handing out were custom, mama.
Mine
So
were
mine were custom because I'm like, that was the mark of trade, babe. Like, you know
That's
what?
when you should. Honestly, the second I tried to hand you a Sunny Angel, that's when you should have been like, we should talk.
Also, this nigga finna be sick. Real quick, because
Sick.
if we want to get petty, well, not even petty, but just real.
Yeah.
I'm like, I already sent out the call. So the bad bitches from this side of town ain't answering your call.
Ain't answering, girl.
If you were gonna send out a call, which you shouldn't, because go focus on who you need to focus on. But if you were to try and send out a call,
Dude, and honestly, that's why dating is so insane too. And once again, this is coming from a girl who like has not dated that much, so maybe I just don't have that experience. But like genuinely, like the way your city gets smaller, honestly has me too scared to date because
your shit
genuinely
got small. If that shit happened to me, and that's why you're so, dude. Sorry, me hella like. if
no,
that
air me
shit-
out. I'm like, air me out.
No. Just I'm saying, like, on some personal level, like a situation happened to Maya that I know if it happened to me, and that's how I know you're healed. Because if it happened to me, bro,
Are you talking about at the with the girl?
yeah,
Oh, I should tell this story because it's fucking hilarious.
you should tell
Because
the story.
honestly,
Because if it happened to me, I would have literally had to, like, I don't know, like, deal with the situation.
well, I will also say like okay, it doesn't even matter. Let me just say this. So I went to my friend's like house party a couple weeks ago, or like, whatever, a couple weeks ago, doesn't matter. But and honestly, preface to the story being one thing about me for real is like I will self-claim that like I am a girl's girl. Like I really do be thinking about the girls. Like if I know that like anything, like I'm not dating any exes, I'm not like just there's I mean, obviously nobody should, but just like genuinely, like I think that's why the story happened this way, because at the end of the day, it's about the girls that you met along the way type shit. I went to my friend's house party and I met this girl and she literally comes up to me and she's like, oh my gosh, you're so pretty. Like, can I like draw you? And I was like, girl. And she was like, Coons. Like, she was so cute. Like, whatever. I'm like, yeah, dude. Like, that's so sweet. Like, absolutely, whatever. She's like, period. Like, let me get your Instagram. Like, let me see, whatever. Honestly, I thought she was trying to key. I was like, oh, okay, girl. Like, whatever. She goes to get my Instagram. Favorite game to play in LA. Who do you know? Guess who? Like literally guess who? We have two mutuals. One that like I don't know because they probably just like follow me, whatever. And then another being this guy that I dated. And I literally I wasn't even gonna say anything. I saw it and I was like, work. And she goes, "Oh, how do you know so and so?" And I said, "Oh, how do you know so and so?" Because I was like, "Girl, before I start literally like when my eye like turns bloodshot because my blood vessels pop, I'm like, let me just ask you because if she was going to be like, "Oh, that's my friend." I was going to be like, "All right, cool. Like, yeah, that's gang, like whatever." She's like, "Oh, we hooked up." I bust out laughing. I bust out laughing. And I literally go, "Oh, bitch, same." I literally was like, "Girl, same." Like we hella dated. She literally goes, "Ah!" We grab hands and we start jumping. And we start jumping in a little circle. Like we're literally like, like hella laughing, like witch style, bitch. Like we almost span into the air, into the night sky. We're literally cackling, holding hands, jumping in a circle. And she goes, "Oh no, I can't say that part. I can't say that part. That would have doxed this nigga." But basically, it was just giving. I was like, "Girl, like I guess that's my sister." Like I
No,
don't know.
Eskimo style,
No, I
but
literally was like, "Hey, girl, like okay." Like we literally dapped up, grabbed hands, and jumped and squealed. I was like, "This is girlhood."
this is girlhood. And
Because
like,
I made peace with that too. Like I'm like that person. And here's the tea that also nobody wants to talk about. And this is why I'm like that you gonna be fine. Is like genuinely though, people will tell number one, people do tell you who they are. Like, and I'm also like, I'm second, third chance Barbie. So like it's not even giving that like, oh, if somebody's like whatever, you should be like, all right, fuck you. Like, not at all. But people will tell you who they are. They'll tell you twice. Three times if you let them. You know what I'm saying? But like with these like situations where somebody's like, yeah, I really like you, but like I want to XYZ. They're going to XYZ. Like not even on some hateful shit. Like it's just giving like I do kind of feel like my perception right now, as I'm gathering data from the group and also just in my own experience, is like when people see like when it's a green flag, genuinely for a lot of people, like this is not exclusive to men, but just like when it's a green flag, like that's when the decision comes of like you're gonna fight or you're gonna flight. And a lot of bitches are picking flight these days, which okay is real. Like it feels like a lot of times like it's a very fear based decision. But that's why I'm like, don't worry because when you check back in a couple months, he's still gonna be doing most likely the same shit he told you he was going to do. And that's when I met this girl. I'm like, yeah, because this person dates down with love, like I'm sure has like a great hookup life, like love that, knew that the whole time, like knew that that was the tea. All right, cool. Like when I met her, I wasn't like, "Oh my god." No, I was like, yeah, cuz that's exactly what the whole thing was is this person literally just dates. Like that's just date Ken and like that's it. And I'm like, "Work." So what? I would have been more gagged if she was like, "We're married." I would have literally been like, no, I still probably would have been like, but literally would have went home and been like, but like chances are, if somebody, for example, is like, "I'm just not ready for commitment," whatever. It's not personal,
it's not
and they're
personal.
finna be non-committed in 6 months too. So it's like, cool,
No, serious.
make
And I'm
peace,
like, go be committed to non-commitment.
go be because y'all say you're afraid of commitment, but you be committed hard as hell to that bit. I'm like,
Yeah.
don't y'all want a warm house? What happened to men that want to come home to a cooked meal? What happened to that? What
No.
happened, guys?
And this poly pocket community,
And
this
I will say, as somebody, as a oat milk drinking ass, fucking like, I had a
liberal,
shag, like,
yeah.
I need to get it touched up ass liberal living in Los Angeles. I'm like, with love to the poly community, because y'all really are the strongest soldiers. That is just like another situation of like, just make sure you know what you want. You know what I mean? Like, if you meet somebody and they're like, bro, I'm trying to run my shit open, don't lie if you don't want to.
Don't lie,
I've
because you
had
don't even
many of
want your shit.
friends.
You don't even want your shit open, no way.
I'm also like, I've had many of friends who'll be like, okay, yeah, totally. Sick when they do exactly as they said. And I'm like, well, see how you're coming to me trying to get me to pull a fucking defense together, bitch. You ain't got no paperwork. You ain't got no paper. Oh my God, yeah. Like, and he told me like he wants to be open, but like he's seeing other bitches. Well, did you see when you signed the fucking small print? It said he will be seeing other bitches. That's what he said.
No, like you ain't got no lease on that house.
No lease, girl. Like
Your
just because
name
y'all
is
took a
not
selfie
on
together in front of it,
yeah.
like that's
Your
not
name
the
is
same
not on the
thing.
fucking lease, bitch. No
No, and it's
ownership.
giving like the hardest part, I think, a lot of times is like being honest with yourself of just like what you want because it makes you vulnerable, you know, to be like, I really want like commitment from this person, whatever. The sooner that you stand on business, the easier your life is going to be because that way you can be like, you are not giving me what I want. And once again, I'm feeling confident because I'm out the woods. But bitch, when I was in them, can you hear a tree fall in the woods? Because I promise you, all my friends did. Like, I literally was like, ah, ah, like, literally, like, help, like, help. But now we've grown, and I'm just like, girl, like, just know what you want so that when somebody tries to sell you something you don't fall for that shit.
Yeah.
Like, the girlies are trying to sell snake oil. I'm like, okay, like, you're finna be at my house every day, meet all my friends, like, literally text me good morning, and then be like, bitch, and why would I be your boyfriend? I'm like, oh. I'm like,
Stomped.
looks like a duck. Like, sounds like a duck.
Stomped.
Weird.
Look
like,
confused.
oh, okay.
Hella
Like,
confused.
cool,
Hella
totally.
confused. So, anyways, y'all, that's just coming from HQ real quick.
No, like, we had to run it like Dear Diary style real quick because, guys, you guys aren't alone and we're all going to be okay. Honestly, what we need to do is start speaking what kind of guys we want. It might be a little too fresh for you, but
That might be the next episode because I'm ready.
I'll do it right now. Well, hey, okay. We'll keep it for the Patreon exclusive. I'm kidding.
Unless, no.
Was it? And I'm like, unless, no, because I got him written down.
My shit too. I'll go over my list later.
Okay, work. Well, next week we will be sharing with you guys our dream guys, so that if you see them in the street, you can tell them that there's a warrant out for their arrest. And yeah, we've just been two girls. We've just been two girls hanging out and banging out, bro.
Banging it out.
Whoa.
Oh.
Huh?
Sorry, I just had to take a deep breath.
Bro, I almost said pause. Nope. I'm never saying pause ever in my life. What am I, a 13-year-old boy? What the fuck?
Pause.
Pause, bro.
Mine for this
I already
week
know what it's gonna be, but go for it.
is gonna be Happiness by Taylor Swift.
Yep.
Thank you.
And that's how I knew it was serious. This bitch picked me up and Happiness was playing on aux. I was like, oh.
And here's the thing about that song that I just want to talk about so quick.
Go.
That song is what's keeping my shit together, and anyone who's ever gone through any kind of breakup ever, like, that shit will be the fucking glue foundation of any house, because that goes through all the stages of how to heal from that shit. Because she ends it with, and my new self, I can hand you out forgiveness. Like, she talks about, and I haven't met my new reinvented self yet. Because that's really all that happens when you're going through a breakup. Is like, you know, the first
reinvent.
Yeah. I'm shook, reinvent. Anger, reinvent. Forgiveness, to be able to handing out forgiveness easily. Final form.
Yeah. Damn. She made me listen to it in the car. And it did say that. It was giving that. On my watch list this week, damn. Bro, I don't even know. What have I been listening to? Honestly, on the watch list this week for me is giving old school Panic at the Disco, mama. I've been literally running that shit back to back because, and we heard them at the time, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like we need to hear them again. If you're not familiar, please refresh yourself. Like, it's giving Panic at the Disco circa like 2012. Like, y'all were in the studio making timeless hits.
Shut your mouth.
Me letting you sing, I'm like, sorry, because I can't get caught up. I can't get caught up when my notes are wrong. But anyways, so yeah, that concludes this, bro.
That concludes this.
And the work is never done, but this concludes it being recorded and filmed right now. Thanks for listening.
Amen. Well, we love you guys so dearly and deeply, and we appreciate every single person who takes time out of their week to listen to us.
Seriously.
Chatterbox.
Sound off below with your most horrible situationship stories.
No, like, and if you ever, y'all know, anyone who DMs me, I always be like hitting y'all back, but yeah, go ahead and hit me, y'all. I got you in the chat room.
We're all together, like, hands held. Like, don't worry, guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna be okay.
We're gonna be okay.
All good.
Yeah, all good in the hood. And yeah, but if you ever want to find us and keep up with what we're up to and what we're doing, you can find us on IG. On IG.
My name in gold, like.
You can find me on IG and TikTok on IG at Domrobxrts. Instead of an E, it's an X. You can find me on TikTok at Dom Not a Teen Mom.
Realness. You can find me on Instagram at Mayamoto with an underscore at the end. And then you can find our pod on Instagram at Upstairs Neighbors Pod.
And TikTok at Upstairs Neighbor Pod.
Period. And we will be seeing you guys in a week's time, sending you so much love, and be safe out there. The lover girls, be safe.
Be safe.
Bye.
Bye.